Yo, what's happening? Welcome to Art versus Arteria. I appreciate y'all for being here. I really do. Uh, this video, I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough attention in like this community, this self-help type of community, and that's analysis paralysis and consuming too much information, like the dangers of consuming too much self-help content, and not just self-help content. When I say self-help, what I'm talking about is any content that we consume that is motivational when it comes to achieving our goals, right? For instance, like if you're trying to get in shape, a lot of the times we'll watch videos on getting in shape or what workouts we need to do just to get that motivation and get that build that confidence up to get started as and instead of like going out there and really doing it and applying it, and we get stuck in a cycle. So let's start with analysis paralysis, right? You've probably been there before where you're spending hours, maybe even days, gathering information, researching and planning on how to improve your life, but you never actually take action. And why is that? Well, the reason is a lot of the times it's because we become overwhelmed. It's like it's too many options, right? It's too many options. It's too much information, and then you start to get stuck. So the irony is, the more knowledge that you gain, the harder it is to take action. Sometimes the harder it is to make a decision, and that can get murky real fast. It can get stuck real fast because just analysis paralysis, like I said. Now, don't get me wrong. I myself, I love self-help content. Like I have a small library filled with books, and like most of them is in the genre of self-help. It's different information, but most of them are in the genre of self-help because they have a lot of inspiring, a lot of motivation, and valuable insights in those books that I've read over the years. Some artists have different insights than other artists, but the key component is the foundation of them all is like it's like self-improvement type stuff, right? But consuming too much too fast can be harmful. Like all at once, that can definitely be harmful, and I'll tell you why. One, it creates information overload. When you're constantly taking in information, absorbing new ideas, new techniques, new methods, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. You start to second guess yourself because you don't know which direction to go. You're just like, should I do this or should I do that? Should I listen to this person or that person? Should I try this method or that method? It becomes too much, too fast, right? Should I read another book? Should I watch another video? You just get stuck in that cycle. Two, causes attention deficit. And attention deficit is you just not taking action, right? The biggest danger is you become a consumer as opposed to a creator. And you always want to be a creator over being a consumer. You always want to create. You always want to apply what you're learning and not just take in information constantly, right? Because if you're just taking in information, you're really just stuck. You're not going anywhere. Three, it creates unrealistic expectations. Like, let's be real, man. A lot of times we read this content, these authors they set the bar way too high, telling you need to wake up at 4 a.m., you need to do 2 workouts a day, you need to eat only chicken breasts and broccoli. Like, it's just too much too soon, right? And we're human. We ain't not going like waking up I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. if I'm not used to waking up at 4 a.m. You just can't go from that one extreme to another so fast. So it's unrealistic expectations that a lot of this content creates. And then not to mention like the videos that you can watch. You can go down a rabbit hole watching these videos. And I've been down the rabbit holes like watching like anything. Like when I first started doing photography and I wanted to learn photography, man, I would watch 20 to 30 videos all in one sitting and try to take in all that information. And I thought I was learning something. I felt confident until I got my first gig. Once I got my first gig and I went on site to take those pictures, I realized that I did not know shit. I felt like I knew it what I was doing, but I didn't know shit because didn't have no experience. So while I was taking in all of this information, I wasn't actually putting it into practice. So I was lost when I actually got my first gig, if that makes sense. So you got to apply what you're learning, is what I'm saying. Like the motivational videos, they give you that quick hit of dopamine, and dopamine is what I talked about in one of my previous videos. And they make you feel inspired. They make you feel like you know what you're doing, but you don't really know until you get out in the field and you apply what you're learning and get that experience, right? So how do we break free from this analysis paralysis cycle? Analysis paralysis cycle. One, focus on one thing at a time. Like if you have a goal or area of improvement that you want to tackle, like choose that and commit to it. Like commit to it, stick to it and commit to it. And don't be trying to do too many things at once, because that's going to leave your attention and your focus scattered. It's going to spread you too thin. So just focus on one thing at once until you start to get a good grasp on what you're doing. 2, limit your consumption. Like stop trying to read 10 books a week or 10 books a month. Just read 1 book a month, or watch a couple videos a day and then go out and apply what you learned from that book or from that video if it resonates with you. 3, take action. Take imperfect action. Stop waiting for things to be perfect before you do anything, because it's never going to be perfect. Stop waiting for the right equipment or stop waiting for the right time. It's never going to be right time. Do it now. Like messy action is better than no action. Little steps, small steps are better than no steps, because you're moving, you're constantly moving. You constantly want to be moving and learning. You want to fail fast. That's how you get to your goal faster, right? And 4, reflect. Reflect and adjust. So reflect on what's working and what's not working and adjust accordingly. Course correct, right? If it ain't working, then discard it. Like eat the meat, spit out the bones, is however they said. Take in what you need to take in, and everything else you disregard or you discard. So if you're watching the video and if that person ain't resonating with you, then you're not getting the right information that you need to get, like stop watching that video and move on to the next. The same with books. If that book ain't resonating, like put it, I know you don't want to waste your money, but like toss it to the side, move on to the next. Like focus on the quality over the quantity, right? Instead of constantly searching for new strategies, just reflect on what you're doing, what's working. Self-improvement isn't about doing more, it's about doing what works. So the key to all of this is really balance. That's the key. You want to have balance. Like the goal isn't consumption. You don't want to consume as much as possible. You really want to apply what you're learning. My mother used to always tell me, like, apply yourself. Apply yourself. And in the moment, like, I understood what she meant, but now as I'm older, I really understand what she meant. She meant put in the work. Like, you know what you need to do, just do it. Like, you got to think of like the content, the self-help content or self-improvement content as a tool for you to use. As like it's like a hammer or a screwdriver. If you're not using that hammer, it's useless. If you're not driving any nails, then it's useless. You got to go out and use it. Right? Be intentional with the content that you choose and focus on quality over quantity, like I said. And trust yourself. Trust yourself. Like you're not gonna have all of the answers, but before you take action, you're not gonna have all of the answers before you take action. Like sometimes you need to build a plane while you're flying it, so to speak. So if you ever been stuck in analysis paralysis, caught up in like consuming too much content before you get started on the work, just remember, like, progress comes from action, not just information. You got to put in the work. Take what resonates with you and just leave the rest, and trust yourself. Start building the life that you want to live, one step at a time. And as always, man, if you got anything out of this video, give me the thumbs up or down, just hit the button. And share this with somebody who may need it. And let me know, man, what is one small action you're going to take today in the comments. Let me know. And let's make it happen together. And this is art versus arteria, and it's you versus you. So do what you have to do to make your life the best life possible. Until next time, I bid you adieu, man. Peace, love. I'm out this bitch.